anxious yet. We stand in the openness as the street stays calm. Your presence feels gentle, like an open palm. I stay before the air walls, where the cold feels wide, letting seconds hover without deciding why. Time slides a little slower when I don't look ahead. I notice how the quiet lives in what's said. I stay before the air walls, where the warmth remains. Everything arriving without a name. There's space before the motion, before the light turns strong. I keep this moment open. I stay long before the air The air feels light, nothing pressing yet. We pause in the brightness as the streets stay slow. Your presence feels natural, like something I already knew. I stay before the day leans in, where the calm feels wide, letting minutes hover without stepping Time softens its edges when I don't plan ahead. I notice how the quiet lives in what's said. I stay before the day leans in, where the warmth remains. Everything arriving without a name. The space before the shift, before the hours align. I keep time. Nothing settles yet. We linger in the opening as the hour stays loose. Your presence feels easy, nothing to choose. I'll stay before the street warms, when the calm feels wide, letting minutes hover without stepping aside. Time slips a little slower when I don't look ahead. I notice how the quiet moves through what's said. I'll stay before the street warms, where these remains. Everything arriving without a name. There's space before the motion, before footsteps agree. I keep the moment open, I don't hurry. Before the street warms, doors half open, light on stone. Movement held just back, nothing released. The force waits quietly without building pressure. Every direction suggests but doesn't commit. I move with deferred momentum, not pushing it forward, letting it stay ready. Energy shifts its weight, then pauses again. Everything feels prepared without acting yet. I move with deferred momentum, not pushing it forward. No need to initiate. Even as it gathers, I keep distance. Everything stays intact by holding back. I move with deferred momentum, not pushing it forward. soften slightly. Everything feels composed without demand. I move by a gentle reference, not enforcing it. No need to adjust. Even as the frame widens, I remain steady. Everything continues with chordy clarity. I move by a gentle reference, not enforcing it. Soft alignment, light resting along the wall, nothing expected. We pause inside the moment, let it take its time. Every thought grows softer when nothing's on the line. I stay where it feels settled, letting time remain. Nothing asking me to move. Minutes stretch gently, then return again. Every breath feels steady when we don't explain. I stay where it feels settled, letting time remain. No need to hurry now. Even as it shifts slightly, I remain close. Everything stays open without being chose. I stay where it feels settled, let time the morning slows. Nothing changes yet. We pause in the warmth as the street stays loose. Your presence feels natural, nothing to reduce. I stay just before the air turns, where the calm The breeze agrees I keep this moment open. I don't ease before the elegance. Windows breathing, heart still. Light circles the floor, no clear center. The room breathes in cycles without counting time. Every motion repeats, then bends slightly aside. I move with the low drift, not following a path, letting the pool decide. Patterns form and loosen, then return altered. Everything feels familiar, but never the same. I move with the low drift, not following a path. No need to ride. Even as it deepens, I stay responsive. Everything keeps turning without direction. I move with the low drift, not following a path. Light staying where falls, nothing urgent. We arrive without alignment. Let the moment rest. Every thought eases back when I turn again. Every breath feels balanced when we don't explain. I stay inside the stillness, letting time remain. No need to hurry this, even as it opens slowly. I remain close, everything stays possible. Time still hold. Focus slips sideways, nothing anchors. The middle drifts unnoticed, without complaint. Every reference softens when balance isn't claimed. I move around the center, not standing in, letting focus slide. Alignment never settles, then fades again. Everything feels intentional. Why avoiding the point? I move around the center, not standing in. No need to arrive. Even as it pulls me inward, I'll step wide. Everything stays clear by staying on. I move around the center. Offset focus, unclaimed. Hands resting on the table, nothing decided. Paths sit side by side without a sign. Every option stays present, but none feel like mine. I'm not choosing it, letting it stay open. Nothing pulling me ahead. Questions soften slowly, then fade again. Everything off center continue. To continue. After motion fades from view, something quiet still comes through. Not a sound, no, quite a space, just a trace we can't replace. Time loosens its own grip, nothing asks the loop to skip. What remains is barely there, a suggestion in the air of an residue, soft and thin. Let the echo settle in. Open residue, calm and wide, where the end just remaining. Light moves along the edges, nothing central. The motion avoids the middle without intention. Every shift stays peripheral, calm but alert. I stay within the outer flow, not turning windward, letting it pass around me. we stay before the shift. Let the seconds lead. Every thought eases back in the space between. I remain inside the suspension, letting time move slow, nothing asking me to go. Minutes soften gently, then return again. Every breath feels balanced when we don't explain. I remain inside the suspension, letting time move slow. No need to step ahead, even as it opens slightly. I remain close. Everything stays possible without a pause. I remain inside the suspension, letting time move slow. Still forming, still before. After the hit, something stays. Not a sound, but not erased. Movement lives in what remains between the notes, behind the gaze. Nothing leads in, nothing follows. Time feels shallow, never hollow. Every pause retains a trace of the rhythm's former place. Residual motion, soft and low. Let the after feel still glow. Residual motion, calm and thin, where the echo settles in. Broken pulses drift apart, never fully leave the start. Each return is slightly changed, shaped by silence rearranged. No insistence to conclude, let the pattern stay subdued. What we hear is partly gone, yet the movement carries on. across dawn. Edges soften briefly. The street tilts in small ways without asking notice. Every step feels casual, placed slightly aside. I move through the shifted light, not straight lit, letting angles pass. Reflections slide along glass, then fade out. Everything feels balanced by not centering. I move through the shifted light, not straight it. No need to align. Even as the shade rotates, I stay easy. Everything continues in a soft offset. I move through the shifted light, not straight lit. Workers slightly displaced, nothing fixed. Orientation drifts quietly without direction. Every point feels relative to where we're standing. I follow the shifted reference, not returning it, letting position change. Frames adjust on their own and settle again. Everything feels intentional without a center. I follow the shifted reference, not returning it. No need to correct. Even when it feels familiar, I don't reset. Everything stays accurate by moving off. I follow the shifted reference, not returning it. Position unspot. Some rest between buildings. Pavement holds heat. The street narrows comfortably without I stay easy. Everything carries forward with relaxed steps. I follow the side stream. Warm pavement, carrying on. Sun leans across balconies. Nothing sits square. The hour bends gently without asking for balance. Every movement feels relaxed, placed slightly out of line. I stay with the sideways afternoon, not correcting it, letting it feel loose. Shadows lengthen at angles, then soften again. Everything feels lighter by not lining up. I stay with the sideways afternoon, not correcting it. No need to fix form. Even as the light drifts on, I remain calm. Everything continues with a soft tilt. I stay with the sideways afternoon, not correcting it. To call, continuing. Light lowers across the water. Air cools slightly. The day loosens its edges without ending. Every color softens as movement slows. I stay with the fading warmth, not holding it, letting evening arrive. is calm and clear. Nothing else is pulling near. Footsteps mark the sandy line. Heartbeats sinking with the time. All the rush is drifting far underneath the rising star. Tide bound light, let it flow. Easy rhythm, moving slow. Every moment soft and free, just the way it's meant to be. Tide bound light, warm and wide, carry us along the tide. Palm leaves hum in steady air. Simple moments everywhere. Nothing heavy left to chase. Everything is set in place. Shadows stretch and fade away as the groove begins to play. Every sound is warm and low, like the waves that always know. Tide bound light, let it flow. Easy rhythm, moving slow. Every moment soft and free, just the way it's meant to be. Tide bound light, warm and wide, carry us along the tide. Hands up, feel the tempo breathe. Let the daylight gently leave. In this sound we learn to stay, letting all the weight drift away. Tide bound light, This is when the day